Welcome to Interfaith Counseling COVID Parenting Check-in. This is our last session. The other sessions are posted on Facebook if you had not had a chance to see them. Today we are talking about hope and looking forward to the future. And it's important when we're dealing with uncertain times to think about what we can look forward to and how to have a sense of hope during this time. So I'm going to give you some ideas that could help you with your parenting, where you can feel like you have a sense of hope for the future. One of the things is looking at your routine and how to structure in your routine something to look forward to with your children. And I would recommend doing something daily and weekly. So for example, maybe you suggest first we're going to get our homework done, then we're going to go outside and go for a bike ride or have some ice cream. So we have something to look forward to. And then maybe on a weekly basis, maybe this weekend we're going to go visit Grandma and Grandpa. Or on the weekend we're going to go to a nature trail. So that way they have a sense of the future and a sense of hope, and then every day is not feeling the same for them. If you find your child is getting really worried and thinking about what the fall may bring and thinking about all the things they're worried about, then that's really different. And then I encourage you to look at my recordings on mindfulness and controlling thoughts, which I talked about last week, or maybe getting some outside help for them, just to help them focus on what they can control and how to think in the moment. Another thing that can really help us give a sense of hope is sharing our kindness. And I've been amazed by how the community has come together and been strong during this time. And really, hope is in community and hope is in each other, supporting each other during a storm. So the first thing is thinking about how can you be kind to your family. And in week 2, I talked about how we can think about families being filled with flowers, but sometimes those weeds get in the way. And how is that going for you to pull out those weeds and thinking about how you can create a positive family environment? So, and that could be maybe trying to talk calmly to each other, spending more time with each other, what that looks for you. So thinking about how you can share kindness with each other in the family. And then moving it to how can you as a family share kindness in the community? And even just explaining to your children that by washing your hands and social distancing, wearing a mask, that is a way to show kindness to our community because we are showing that we care about our community and are protecting each other. So that's one way. Another way is by brainstorming with your children and your family how you can support the community. There's so many wonderful charities that you can support, or you can think about somebody in your own life, in your own neighborhood, maybe a senior citizen, maybe somebody who's immunocompromised and they can't get out and buy their groceries, and how you can support that particular individual. I've seen many children draw beautiful pictures and I've seen them posted, or letters. I've heard of children making cards and sending them to long-term care homes. There's so many creative things that you can do, and I find that if you ask children, even young children as young as 5, they can come up with some really great ideas about how they can support the community. So not only is supporting the community a great way to bond as a family, help the community, and give us a sense of hope, but it also shifts our thinking from inwardly to outwardly. And then we're shifting our thinking to how can we help the community, and that actually will make you feel really good about yourself and really good about the community. And it will give you a sense of hope. So the other thing to think about now that we are 3 months into this and we are feeling a sense of hope because our restrictions are getting lifted and the numbers are coming down, I think everyone's starting to feel like, okay, we're getting there. But if in March I would have said to you, you're going to be at home for 3 months, I don't know what I would have said. That might have felt like, wow, this is hard to believe. But now that we are at the other end of it, we can look back and reflect. We got through those 3 months. And how did you get through those 3 months? For some of you, it may have been really hard for you. That could have been really isolating. It could have been challenging. You might have had some financial barriers. And for some of you, you may have thought, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Everyone's experience is different. But I would encourage you to reflect and think about how you got through the last 3 months. What coping skills did you use? What worked for your family? Did you find that you spent more time enjoying family meals? That you maybe started to go outside more and do some family walks? That you enjoyed your Zoom calls with extended family, phone calls with grandma, if you weren't able to meet with her face to face? What worked for your family? And then draw upon those skills and those resources for future storms that you may have in your life. And we don't know what our future holds. We don't know if we're going to get a second wave, but we can look at it differently, knowing we got through those 3 months. And we don't need to dread what the future may hold, because looking at those 3 months, we can think about, well, I got through those 3 months, and these are the things I did to get through those 3 months, and kind of looking at it like a coping plan. This is the coping plan I'm going to use if, in fact, we have a second wave. So I'd encourage you to reflect what worked for you for your parenting over the last 3 months, and have compassion for yourself that you got through it. You had to homeschool your children, you were with your children all the time, and just knowing that this was an unprecedented time and you got through it. So in summary, I would like you just to reflect on these three things as we kind of get a sense of hope for our future. So thinking about how you can have a sense of looking forward to something in your routine, how you can share kindness to not only to your family members, but to the community, and how you can reflect on what went well for you during these last 3 months. I've posted a YouTube clip that has a really neat reflection on, it's called Hindsight 2020. There's a really neat reflection on how we can look at these times in a positive way, in a way of reflection. So I want to thank you for joining us. And if your child or teen or yourself are struggling and you feel like you could use some outside help, please call into Intake at Interfaith, and we would be happy to support you. Take care.